I mean, the big thing for me is just that Mom was really particular.
Nobody can hear you down here.
Yeah, and I can't see you.
And see, she can't see you.
Yeah, stand up.
So Mom was really particular about making sure that this was a happy event, as opposed to things that would make anybody sad.
Right.
So trying to come up with those stories are easy, but most of us were here for a lot of them. So I'm trying to think of the
Well, that one that they just said was wonderful.
the take the bucket and mop downstairs. We didn't realize was a story at first. I was traumatized. Mom did not realize that it was an issue. It had happened when I was very young, and there was a mop and a bucket upstairs that Mom needed taken to the basement. And I was very literal, so when Mom said, take the bucket and mop downstairs, what I heard is take the bucket and mop the basement. And I was very small, I had never mopped and it was a big basement. It was kind of finished, but not, I mean, I can't do that. She said, yes, you can. I said, no, I can't do that, I can't. So you will take the bucket and mop downstairs. I'm like, I don't even know if I can fill the bucket up. Can't lift it if I fill it up, I can't do it. We argue at this. I ended up getting a whooping over the whole thing, the bucket and mop downstairs. Years later, I was relating the story about how mean my mother was. That she was trying to force me as a child to mop the basement. She's like, no, take the bucket and the mop downstairs. Well, why didn't you? I did say that. I said take the bucket and mop downstairs. We worked it out.
Anybody else have another story? Mine's not as funny. I have several, but they all kind of center around Lorelei being mom. I wasn't real close to my mom, so Lorelei was the one there. Mark had to work a lot. If anybody's ever had wisdom teeth out, you know it's kind of horrible. So I said, oh, I don't need anybody to go with me. I'll be fine. Lorelei said, oh, no, you will not be fine. I'm going with you. And I said, no, really, I don't want to cause a problem. I'll be fine. She said, Paula, you are not doing this by yourself. I'm going with you. I said, okay, I'll let you go with me, but I'll be fine. Well, it turns out I needed her with me. They weren't going to let me leave without somebody. So I looked like a chipmunk with 2 softballs stuffed under my face. And I had this one little bitty ice pack. And I was trying to take this ice pack and hold it here. No, hold it here. And I was crying, and Lorelei was driving. She said, oh, honey, we're not doing this. And she turned into Walgreens and gets out, goes into Walgreens. And she comes out with a big bag of ice and another ice pack. And so that I could hold them on both of my faces. And so that was like one of the coolest things ever. I had her to take care of me. The other thing is kind of funny, but not so much with Lorelei. Anytime I needed her, she was always there. And when I was incapacitated and I had a baby, my wonderful husband tried to help. And I had knee surgery, and I had this thing on my leg that went from my hip all the way down and couldn't walk. And I kept falling down and couldn't get up. And Mark was trying to take care of everything, and he set the house on fire twice. So
They were small fires.
Baby bottles.
Small.
He literally set the kitchen on fire 2 times. They burned. So I called Lorelei. I said, Lorelei, your son's gonna burn my house down. I said, I don't know what to do. I can't walk, and I got a baby. And she said, I will be there. You probably remember that. She said, I will be there. And she left and came straight to me and stayed with us for about a week and a half, so that my house didn't get burnt down. But that was, it was funny because, yeah. And then Mark's solution to putting out the small kitchen fire was taking a fire extinguisher. And so there's a mess everywhere. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Do you want the house up or not?
So that was my story of her being
Critiquing
mom
everything I
and always
do.
taking care of me when I needed it. So, and she took care of Amy when I wasn't around, to the extent of wanting to choke everybody out over it. But I know that you were grateful for her being there for you. And I was grateful for her being there for you. Huh? Yeah.
But you got to stand up. It's a rule.
I can't see you.
Hello. Well, my name's Amy, and I am Mark's sister-in-law, and they,
We don't do in-law, that's Mark's
I
sister.
know, we're sisters, you know, that's my brother, you know. Mark actually and my sister took me in when I was 15. They took me in from a very troublesome childhood. I was not going through some good times. So from that, they took me straight in, pretty much to Lorelei. From there, she always consoled me. She was always there for me. That was my other mother. That was what I knew. And when I first found out that I was pregnant, she was the one that took me to the hospital the very first time. I could tell her anything I ever wanted to. You know, I was in 8th grade. It was a thing to always have our clothes match our socks. And I would go out purposely and buy her different color socks, just so she would have every color pair. And to her last day, and every time I see her, she would always say, "Look, my socks match, no matter what." 20-something years later.
I'd forgotten that.
And it really taught me a lot. You know, a lot of people say death bring a lot of people together, and we learned a lot from it. You know, she had never let a holiday go by that she didn't handwrite me a card and made me something. And I let a lot of years go by for granted. And I know how much she loved me, and she worshipped me a lot. Like, she really did. And I didn't return that. And
Amy, she knew you loved her, and she don't want tears. She wants everybody to be happy. She
I
loves you.
want to express that too. You know, I felt like I had to get that out. But I always loved her, and I know that she did me too.
And she loved her matching socks.
She did.
And there were times that she would say, "Now you gotta tell Amy my socks match."
Always. I love y'all. Thank you so much. It's good meeting everybody. All right, bye.
I had a swimming pool for a very short time.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Yes.
I think Aunt Dee gave it to us when they moved or something, but we were hanging out one time and we were talking about things that had happened and everything.
It was at Grandma's funeral.
And
Or
I
wait.
was like, "Oh, I remember hanging out by the pool and blah, blah, blah," and I'm like,
What?
Becky said
"We didn't have a pool," and he's like, "Yes, we did," and I'm like, "What?"
She said, "No, we did not."
We did not have a pool when I was at home.
Of course, we did move and not tell you.
That is also true.
It was at that house that we got the pool. Do you see a correlation?
I do very much.
Not only did they not want you to have the pool, but if you were there, we didn't get a pool. It was.
I don't think I've actually heard Becky's version of that trip, because I remember our version, which was, oh yeah, we should have mentioned that, shouldn't we? It didn't occur at the time.
I was in college, and after I had left for college, I was calling, regularly, and they just didn't mention that at some point during that year, they moved to a whole different house. Moved all my stuff that was still at home, and I come home to a completely different place that I didn't even know was a thing.
You're kind of lucky you got to come home. I mean, wasn't the original plan.
And there was no pool by the time we got there.
Oh,
The pool turned green much more often than it was used as a pool.
Yes,
Yeah.
Or it
there
had
a lot of work.
a lot of chemicals in it where you couldn't get in it. And you're like, can you get in it yet? Like, nope, still the wrong color. Yeah, they have been colorblind too.
I've wondered, but I know Mom was, so that was a revelation finding out Mom was colorblind. Explained a lot of outfits. But, not insulting, just, oh, okay, we're doing that. and I'm colorblind, and I knew not to do that.
Which goes back to your grandfather who was colorblind.
It does, absolutely.
Okay, I'll tell another story just because it was Lorelei taking care of me. And it was a funny story. When I was in labor with Abby, I was in labor for a long
How does this
time.
always come back to me? I don't even have to tell anything.
Not just you, it was Lorelei too. So Lorelei had, Mark was out of it. He was sleeping most of the time. Amy was there, bless her heart, and she was being told to come home, and she was to take care of her baby. She's like, I'm not leaving my sister until she comes here. So she's in the other room. She was sick from her stomach being upset about having to leave. Mark is sleeping, and Lorelei, the poor lady, the whole time was standing at my side just rubbing my head. And she probably stood on her feet, I guarantee you, 15 hours straight. So, I mean, she literally stood there the whole time, and all of a sudden, here I am. I mean, I am ready, like, I'm ready to have this baby. And Amy's in the other room being sick. Mark won't wake up. Lorelei passes out. I'm pregnant over the side, trying to hold Lorelei up in the air, screaming for the nurses. The nurse comes running, and I'm holding Lorelei as I'm pregnant. Amy's in there sick. Mark, I'm screaming at him to wake up, wake up. He won't. The nurse is yelling at him to wake up. So he felt because we needed the chair for Lorelei that was falling down, passing out. And so Mark wakes up and I was like, bring us the chair. Here I am, ready to drop this baby, holding her. And he stands up and he looks at his chair, and I kid you not, I am not making this up. The man looks at the chair and says, I have a chair. And sit down and went back to sleep. Wow. And at that point, I think I dropped some bad words. And when I dropped the bad words, he got up and brought the chair to Lorelei. But yeah, that was so comical. It was the best story but yeah, she passes out. He won't get up. He has a chair. It was a comedy of errors. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane.
So, because of these stories, I have to do this one because it says a lot about Mom and it says a lot about this. Mom related the story of how Mark called at one point early.
Is this a
on.
roast? What is this?
You have a chance to defend yourself.
I didn't know I needed defending yet.
Don't let this any direction.
See if you had just talked.
If you had just joined in the conversation. Mark calls and announces to Mother, you're going to be a grandmother again. He's like, that's great. That's a wonderful thing. Congratulations. It's great. Good luck. And no problem. A couple days later, she gets another call, and it's like 6 a.m. And Mark's on the phone. Mom says, what's going on? She says, well, she took another pregnancy test. Mom says, well, that's why you take another pregnancy test. Sometimes they're... No, it was positive again. I was like, so what's the problem? Mark says, well, doesn't that mean we're going to have twins? Mom said, whatever you do, don't let her take another test. You can't afford triplets.
I don't recall this. The other ones I defend myself, but
It is truly lore.
I think she just filled in blanks to make a better joke. I really don't remember any of that.
How old were we?
It
Well,
would have been
I'm-
early.
I'm also thinking, by a show of hands, who has known me to be up at 6 a.m.? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah, I'm going. It's just not right.
She said, let the record show, this table just said the exact same thing.
Thank you. My defense rests,
She said,
as I
wasn't
often
there.
do.
she said,
I
I'm
only
putting money on it,
messaged.
he was calling in and stuff. Yeah. And I could see that.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else to share?
I got a couple, okay.
All right.
There we go.
One of them, it's gonna
She
be-
doesn't
it's
know
gonna
that
be
much
simple.
about me.
It's gonna be very simple again. They gave This is the first one. Lorelei was notoriously colorblind. Whenever she got ready to go to church, she'd come out and say, do I look okay? I look at, no, you need a different shirt or skirt or something because it just didn't match. So anyhow, they gave her the colorblind glasses, okay?
Yes,
So
yes.
she could do puzzles and she could have fun and work those. Well, one day she decided to put them on again, and she said, I can't wear these. And I said, why not? She said, I can't see the colors. I said, what do you mean? She said, this is supposed to be pink, but it's brown, and this is supposed to be gray. Now, she didn't know what the real colors were.
Yeah.
And that was
That makes sense.
really
Yeah.
different. So I had to stand there for an hour and a half, tell her what these colors were, and have her remind her. And she's, no, but that's blue. No, it's, you can see blue. That is not blue. That's purple, or something crazy. But she was so amazed that she could see these colors that she had never seen before. So it was really a different way of looking at things. But she liked them. She said, but I'm not ready to look at them. No, not ready to look at them. Not happening.
I never thought about that side of it.
Yeah, and one time we were in Paducah, and she had moved in because she was having, doesn't matter the story is tragic before, but she moved in with me because I didn't have any family. I said, hey, you got a family for life, no matter what. You've got a place to live. And I said, okay. So anyhow, it wasn't long after that, leaving Paducah, I had sinus infection after sinus infection. They couldn't fix it. They said all they could do was do surgery about every year and clean out your sinuses, or the other option is go west. I said, that I can do. So I was working at Office Depot at the time, and I could transfer to a store out in New Mexico. The reason being, I told Lorelei, you got 4 states to choose from. Where do you want to go? She chose New Mexico. It was probably the best decision she ever made. So one of the things that had to get rid of the house, everything that put it in a box and put it on a truck. But I said, okay, Lorelei, you pack up your stuff, I'll pack up the rest of the house. And she started doing it. By the time she got started, she had all these boxes. I said, you don't have that much here. And she said, well, yeah, I packed them. I tried to lift one up and it was almost empty. And I said, wait a minute, this is not going to happen. She thought she was good because she put a book here that involved, say, artwork, and there was another book, but that was in another box. No, they're all going in the same box. She said, I'll never find them again. I said, don't worry, I'll help you. She could not pack a box. Don't ever think she could move. So I ended up packing a house, but one of the things that happened was right before, the day before, had the U-Haul truck in, they had everything done, ready to go, boxes packed. And she went to the store after some tape or something, and there was this little bitty limb outside, or a little bitty root of a tree. I stepped on it the wrong way and broke my ankle. So instead of driving a 26-foot U-Haul truck, I have a broken ankle and there's no way I can drive. So she was mumbling and grumbling. She never let me forget that trip, ever. Because here I am, I'm on drugs that, for the pain, have my foot propped up. She'd have to go in, buy ice and put it on the cast, and off we drove. She grumbled every state, every stop, every time we turn around. But it was so funny, after a while it became a joke, about how she had to drive this stupid truck. What she didn't know was that coming back, she would have to drive that same truck. But anyhow, she said, I got good at driving that truck. But anyhow, one of the things that she said was that the best thing ever happened to her was when we came out of Oklahoma and came out on this interstate, and there was nothing but wide open space. I said, pull the truck over, and I'm hopped up on the drugs as usual. But anyhow, I looked up and I went, oh my, this is unbelievable. So the thing is that she had the same thought. You see this whole panorama of this state, this valley, and it's right above Tucumcari, and you drop down, but it was so beautiful. And she said, I'm home. That's where she's going.
Well, mine's not funny, but after the 2 reunions we had at our house, that's when I really reconnected with her a lot. And I have a small, tiny memory when I was little bitty. I don't know.
There's a picture of her standing in front of your tree at the reunion.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever y'all live near Larchmont, I guess. Uncle Bob, y'all had, it was before you all had King.
It was
The
that on
drive-in
Man Avenue, or was it
Yeah.
the one?
Man Miguel?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was connected to the church. I just remember being little and like she was making us dinner one night. So from that memory all the way up to those 2 years at the reunion, I didn't have many memories of her. But after the reunions, she started sending me these little hand painted cards, like often. And she would go, "Here's my frame. Send me lots of pictures and just like of your kids, of your grandkids." And so I'd like start sending all these pictures to her, and it was really great just to reconnect and see her beautiful heart, and I don't know, get to know how much she cared about us, even though we weren't really connected through all those years. But that was really cool. So.
She thought you guys were special, she had this amazing capacity to make everybody feel special.
Yes.
And they were to her. She wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't no kidding around. That's who she was.
Yeah.
Well, she was very happy that she came.
Yeah.
Oh, I was very happy when she
so
came. It was really good to talk to her.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you can imagine somebody driving a 26-foot truck rumbling while somebody's in it,
There's other stories of her following behind a U-Haul.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Those are also painful stories.
Oh, yeah. I won't go through all of those.
No.
Okay. So that leads to a funny story.
Shall I hold it?
It's a quick one, but it was a funny one. So we had.
Stand up.
Oh yeah. Rules, I tell you, rules. I'm gonna step back too, so someone doesn't have to look at the back of me. All right, so we'd invited Mom to go to Derby dinner with us, and we thought that this was a great little thing. I think she was living in New Albany?
She was in New Albany.
Oh, I know what you're getting.
Yeah.
She was in New Albany.
So,
This is hysterical.
so we have a wonderful night out. We at the theater, everything's great, and we're like, okay, we'll just make sure that Mom can get home because she wouldn't use a GPS to drive, and she was in Clarksville and wasn't quite sure. So we just kind of, and if I'm telling it wrong, help yourself.
No, you're right.
Okay, so she pulls out of the parking lot and
But we don't tell her that we're gonna make sure she gets home. We don't
yeah,
tell
it was
her.
just, you know,
It was just a
we were
spirit
just
of
gonna kind of make sure that she got on her way because she hadn't been back for that long. At least that's the way I remember it. So we follow her for a while, and it's like, well, she's not going home the right way. This is not the way home. This goes on for about 10 minutes, and we're like, I don't know where she's going, and now I'm really concerned. Turns out, she thought someone was following her and was not about to drive home for fear of leading them to her doorstep.
And the poor thing turned down a dead-end road.
Yeah, I'm positive we had.
She wasn't good at evading.
I bet she was about to just pass out. And I said, Mark, when I seen her turn down this dead-end road, I said, Mark, she doesn't know it's us. You're scaring her. Get out the car so she can see you jump out. And she finally, we get up to her and I jump out, he jumps out, she runs down the window, she goes, oh, you scared me.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, he scared her. He scared her so bad. And she just was making all these crazy.
Came running up to the window, banging on it, saying, "You're safe. You're safe."
We had a lot of hard times and a lot of good times, and
Do you remember the popcorn parties you had and the movie nights that you had?
I remember eating popcorn. I remember watching movies. But I also remember being in a clinic for.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being in the
6
clinic
years.
for a long time.
Oh yeah.
You'd come home from the clinic and Dad would hang you upside down by the braces.
No.
Oh,
Not
Well,
always.
because back
Just
in
sometimes.
those years, you had to check into the clinic. It was like run by Kosare or something.
It was the because
You
you're
had to
trainers.
check in before 8 o'clock, and then they took you in order of how you checked in.
Or some other variation that made you
Right.
feel
Dad
like you're
worked
waiting.
nights, so we were always getting there right at the deadline. So that meant you waited all day until they called your name to go back.
If they had an
There was times
opening,
we
if
were
somebody
there
else gave
until
up.
5 o'clock and they just forgot to call her name.
Yeah.
And that was, what, 2 or 3 times a week that she did that.
And there were, 4 of us that she was entertaining in this waiting room for 8 hours.
Until you all were old enough to go to school, and then it was just Rod that got to hang with me.
Yeah.
And then eventually it was just me and Mom, but, and I don't know why, but suddenly it occurs to me when Becky's not around, we not only got pool, we also got White Castle.
They also
It just got
cable,
cheaper.
they had all kinds of stuff. When
We got a color TV.
It
Color
really
TV,
was.
yeah.
Actually, the color TV was a good mom story.
The what?
The color TV.
Oh.
That was when Mom hijacked the tax return. And she had wanted a color TV for the longest time. And when the tax return came and she could get it deposited and then get the color TV, we had a color TV. We came home and turned on what is this new television? Turned it on and then there were colors and I'm like, oh my goodness, the incredible Hulk. I'm colorblind. Still can't tell, but I can tell he changed. Before you couldn't see anything happen, just the gray.
It got bigger and his clothes tore. So, I mean, that was a hint.
Well, there was a part before that because I remember I might have been around 10 or something. Gone with the Wind was her favorite movie for
Absolutely.
years.
And
And so Dad went out and rented a color television so she could watch that in color.
wow.
It came on TV one time for, I don't know, some anniversary of when it came out or something.
It may not have been the right colors, but
There were colors.
But,
Well, Ted Turner did a whole lot for that stuff,
I
so.
remember that.
Yeah. I did come up with another story that is appropriate for the gathering. The Mom came to stay with us for a while, and while she was living with us, she hooked up with some friends of ours and their extended friend group, and they would do Thursday night something. All the women would get together, and so Mom started going to those outings. They'd go to a restaurant, they'd watch movies, they'd play games, they'd do something together. It was a big group of people that Mom really enjoyed spending time with. Well, they went to a restaurant one night, and they all went and had a good time. And they come back out of the restaurant. Mom had driven, so she leads them up to the car. It wasn't her car. She borrowed one of our cars to have enough room for everybody. Gets in the car. They all get in it. They're sitting there. Mom's having trouble getting the car started. Mom realizes that she now has a car full of people who are joining her in a Grand Theft Auto. None of our stuff is in the car, none of her stuff is in the car. Now she has to ask the ladies politely to join her in looking for another car where the keys would work. They didn't get caught.
remember telling you that.
but
Oh,
the story's
mercy.
still told.
You know, one of the funny things I remember is when she went to visit you guys in Kansas City. It's when you lived in that loft. First time she went there, she said, I can't believe how big this thing is, and they live in this warehouse, and they live in a loft, you can see all over everywhere, and they got an iguana, they got all these animals, and they can ride around this life on a bicycle, and they do, you know, and there's sound everywhere. I mean, she was totally amazed at what you've done to it, and how you made this one big loft, one big room, and yet it was amazing. And how, yeah, she was totally in awe of that place.
It is a
So-
nice place.
And when you saw it, she was heartbroken, but she had so many good memories of the things that you had when you were there.
And she liked
She was
Great
there.
Village too when she was
Yeah.
in that one. So
Yeah.
Remember when we,
Oh, you can tell one too. You knew her.
well, you tell the better story.
Yeah,
Why
we
about
started.
the beets and we were gonna make that and she got all upset because, why, I don't like to cook.
Oh,
And then the next day you had to pick her up because she couldn't make back up the hill with all the groceries she bought.
There's a story
We
in
can
it.
tell.
We were trying to give her something to do, and we invited somebody over. They were gonna maybe bake a cake or do something together. And at one point, Mom got really frustrated with the whole endeavor, and she's like, "I don't like to cook." Well, and I'm like, I don't remember that because I remember her cooking pretty constantly,
I remember that too.
and then it was good.
Yes.
But
But
what I
having
also
to cook is not the same as wanting.
Wanting to go, yeah.
well, and what she discovered was that in the past she had to cook where every recipe was some sort of wish list that you don't actually use butter.
Any of the ingredients on the
Instead of butter, you
recipe,
use
just-
margarine. And you know, instead of the cream, you use some milk. And instead of this, you use some of that. And so every recipe was watered down and backed up because she didn't have enough to make it go for 6 people every meal and stuff. Once she started being able to go to the store and get all the real ingredients to make something according to the recipe, and then it came out like the recipe, I think she had a lot more fun with it.
I think she had a lot of fun with them derby pies.
Yeah, no, but all of those things, yeah.
I had a lot of fun with those derby pies.
Well, the big thing was the next morning she figured it out.
Yeah, well,
And
and-
without telling us, she walked down to the grocery store. Well, she bought so much stuff, and we're up a hill from the grocery store, that she had to call us to come pick her up.
she made about halfway up the hill with all her stuff, and I'm like,
And then
let
after
us
that, she
know,
cooked
'cause-
all the time, so.
yeah.
Oh, thank you for coming, Miss Loretta.
Thanks for glad to.
You be careful.
I enjoyed it.
You be careful going home.
Well, I gotta go get my great grandson to visit his girlfriend. He's gotta have a ride home.
Well, you be careful.
You have a good.
Do you need any help getting out or anything?
No, I'm fine. I'm used to putting this in the car.
Okie dokie.
It wasn't until
Day.
very recently
Meet
that
all of you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, I think she's getting it, Jordan. Thank you.
Mom told me the story of how she had not killed and disposed of one rattlesnake, but 2.
Oh, no, there were 2.
Yeah, and I did not ever know that about Mom until in the past year.
Mom
and
is
I
a
was-
rattlesnake killer.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of incredible. You don't hear that very often.
My memory was cowering with Dad, watching a sight of Mother I had never seen before, and pieces of snake flying. It's the memory. I don't know how real it was, but there was a creek bed that was like near Fort Knox. There was
Yeah, it was Otter Creek.
Well,
Okay.
this must be a
Yeah.
different one. I was at the Houston one.
Let's back the truck up.
No, that's
A
true.
rattlesnake?
Yes.
yes.
Yes,
Otter Creek.
Otter Creek. And yes, she insisted the first time of keeping the rattler.
We had it for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's rattlesnakes
The
in
rattle-
We
Otter Creek.
don't still have it now. Yeah, there were at the time. There's one less right after she got done.
Yeah, she went back. I think at night, frequently, just to get all of them.
I'm glad she did.
Yeah.
She did that for
Because I
us.
spent a lot of time at Otter Creek. I did not know there was rattlesnakes there. I went
Well,
to
guess
school
what?
and saw there.
Once she got finished, it was free
Everybody
game for
screwed up
everyone.
'cause
So
that's not okay.
Yeah.
The first time was when we lived in Texas.
I was very young.
Houston. Yeah, Rod probably does not remember that, and I'm sure Mark does not.
no, it preceded me. So yes, I'm sure too.
We had rattlesnakes
We used to
before.
regularly go to Galveston because it was very hot, and we didn't have a
Pool
pool,
at the time.
so we would go down to the beach.
I did.
For some reason, we had gone this weekend, and Galveston was pretty crowded. So Mom and Dad decided they were gonna go to this other place down a ways from there. And we get there, there's like nobody around, the beach is clear, we're like, this is great, it's just us and we can enjoy. So we're playing in the water and everything, and then Dad goes, is that a snake in the water? And we're like,
Don't know.
looks like a snake,
Uh-huh.
and we're getting out, and there's like horse snakes everywhere we're
Oh my
seeing.
goodness.
So Mom gets this piece of driftwood and she's like beating the heck out of the snake and kills it while Dad's taking us back to the car. She wanted to take the rattles of that one, and Dad would not let her go back and cut the rattles out.
Oh,
funny
Mom was a rock star. I'm just saying.
The funnier part is we get back and we are relaying this story to somebody else, and they said, yeah, that's a former military base. It's called Rattlesnake Island. And they left there because of all the snakes, and we went there for fun.
You gotta know your surroundings.
Oh my goodness.
Rattlesnake Island. Have you ever heard of it?
It's not called that anymore after she was done with it. It's just island. It's just island
Now
now.
the military's back there, they're safe.
Her job is
Practice with
done.
guns.
Mom also told me that she drove the church bus, and I was like, that was a big bus, the big green bus at Larchmont, and I was like, apparently you didn't need a CDL back then, so.
Apparently not, no.
You didn't back at that time. You
Yeah.
didn't, because
But apparently there were some women that were very upset that she drove a big bus because only men were supposed to do that. Not very ladylike, apparently. So I was like, if they only knew about the rattlesnakes, we wouldn't be having this talk.
You let her drive the bus, I tell you.
All right, well, anybody else? What? Sure, absolutely.
I hadn't intended on saying anything, but Grandma and I, we had a few things in common, and I didn't find them out till much later in life. But one thing that was really cool was that she liked poetry as much as I did, and before she passed, she shared something that she wrote with me. She never believed that anything she wrote was good, and I don't understand why, because everything she wrote was so divinely inspired. How could it be bad? But she shared this with me, and it came with a tune. But listen, I'm not in any shape to sing today. But I'll read it to you. It says, "Every day as I awake and the first deep breath I take, I thank God for all my days. My heart fills with grateful praise. As the sky turns gold and pink, pushing back the night's black ink, with the dawn of each new day, all the past is washed away. Now my heart is free to show Jesus' love wherever I go. Grace and mercy flowed to me. Help me to share with all I meet. Amen." And I think that was probably the best testament of who she was. And while I didn't plan on reading that today, I feel like she would have wanted me to, because she wanted to share Jesus' love with everyone. So,
Can you send that to me?
Thank you for sharing that.
One time I was out in a workshop and I was working and I've got a small workshop with just about every tool you can imagine. At one time I was a cabinet maker, so I can do woodworking like you wouldn't believe. But anyhow, I was out there one day and all of a sudden I came in, I had my hand on my head and I said, "I need some help." And she said, "What?" And she looked at me and here's blood dripping all over. A clamp had fallen off the brace and it hit me right on the head. Didn't hurt my head, it was too hard. All it did was give me a scratch. And she was about ready to go crazy. She said, "Oh no." And then I said, "No, it's not bad, it's not bad. They always bleed a lot." So it took her about an hour. She stood there with her cloth on my head and ice on top of it. And I said, "It's okay, don't leave it alone." She said, "No, you gotta go to the hospital." No, I'm not going. But anyhow, she was adamant that this was a major issue. I said, "My head is just too hard. You can't deal with, it's not gonna be a problem." But she was just so spastic for people that she cared about. She would do anything to protect anybody. She was like a mother tiger whenever it came to you kids. Whenever something like that happened, if there was something wrong, she wanted to go out there and fix it for you. And you never knew what was going on because you didn't know it, but she was really upset. And some of the times
there were a couple times when something was going on, I can't remember, was an accident or whatever, but she was bound determined to go, and I had to rip the keys out of her hands, that you'd sit down, let it go, they'll be okay, wait until they tell you what's going on, but she was ready to rock and roll when it came to something with her kids, her grandkids, anybody she loved or cared for. And she left a big legacy in that respect, and I see it in everybody here because of that. She's touched a lot of our lives.
Anybody got any more?
Well, for anyone that doesn't know, Mom has some of her stories online. I can send out links if you haven't seen them. They're great. They're hilarious often. But we'll send that out and we'll make sure everyone gets that.
Yeah, a couple of years, Karen was at the house.
Yep.
And she set up the camera, and she took videos of them.
And she'll keep you in stitches. She made me laugh and laugh and laugh. Well, guys,